I am Lucas Kraft with Sudelu and Kraft Lifestyle Management, and we do mediation with people with disabilities and families that have to adjust and transition into a different lifestyle. And we put a lot of pride behind what we do, and we want to make it as smooth and easy as possible. So this is Kevin, who has been through a lot with us. We've worked very closely it's been a year, a little over a year now, I think.
I'm Kevin Garner. I've had multiple sclerosis since 2013. I was diagnosed, so a little over 5 years now. I have primary progressive MS, so I've declined at a steady rate versus a relapsing MS, which is you kind of debilitate for a while and then you get better and then you debilitate again type of thing. So
you were in the Army for
22 and a half years.
22 and a half. So you've been all over the world though. You've been to...
Yeah, we've traveled quite a bit. We were stationed in Germany for our first assignment and stayed there for 3 years, and then we were in Oklahoma for another 3, and then Kansas for another about 4, and then Kuwait and Iraq, and back here switched to the Army National Guard full time, and got to stay here in Nashville.
Well, it's not a bad place to settle down.
No, gosh, no. We wanted to come back. My wife and I are originally from Ashland, so we wanted to come back, raise kids in an Ashland environment.
Did you meet her in high school, or was it just really?
Yeah, we actually went to kindergarten together.
Wow.
So we've known each other for a while.
That's crazy. I mean, that sounds like it worked out well.
Yeah, great. Till the MS part struck, and then it kind of forced me to retire from the military and pursue other interests. So, that wasn't definitely planned, but definitely happens. So,
when did you find out about the MS?
Matter of fact, we're playing Lincoln Lutheran in the playoffs this weekend. It was when Gunnar was a senior in 2013, and we were at the Lincoln Lutheran game, and I fell down up in the bleachers, and that was kind of the first balance episode I'd had at that time, and so went to a whole slew of doctors trying to figure out, what the heck was going on, and every one of them would come back and say, oh no, there's nothing wrong with the, neural ophthalmologist and heart condition and everything else, and they all said, oh no, tests are normal. So MS is kind of one of those diagnosed by elimination type diseases, and I kept having problems, and so kind of went back and continued to back away until I finally went to the ER one weekend and I ran an MRI.
It was 2013.
Yeah, 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was already 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Adds up quick. But I was very physically engaged before that, used to run marathons, play rugby in college, and sports and everything. We're definitely a physical lifestyle for myself and my kids. Coach kids baseball and basketball and stuff when they were younger, but it's definitely deteriorated quickly, and I have what's called primary progressive MS, so it kind of declines at a steady rate instead of relapsing MS, which kind of has periods that you go through and you get worse, and then you get a little better, and then you get worse again, and then you get better, and mine's just kind of steady state.
By no means is it an easy transition, but they've
done a great job of helping me with transitional type stuff. You honestly weren't aware that your folks did that as a profession, and kind of stumbled upon that information, and we were like, oh boy, we should have hired them in the first place. But they bailed us out of the other circumstance and did a great job. And then the VA's given us a deck grant, a special adaptive housing grant, to help pay for the deck and change the carpet in here to this type of floor that's easier for me to get around. Very, very grateful for them and their capabilities.
So how did your family take the news? Was there anyone that stood out more than the others, or?
You know, they've been very supportive and helpful and understanding, and certainly, you know, none of them asked for any of that, and kind of had it thrust upon them, and it's definitely taken some adjusting, and we're all kind of learning and growing, and you kind of get used to what you need some help with, and asking for help more often than not. We didn't used to necessarily, and so that takes a little bit of adjustment.
I'm sure that's one of the most frustrating parts of it is having to ask for that. It's been 5 years since you first found out. Is there anything that you've cherished out of it? Is there anything that you've learned more about yourself? Is there any lessons, I guess, you've been taught?
I think, you know, I've learned a little bit more about myself in terms of being a little more gracious and appreciative of things, because, you know, whereas they may have been something you knew how to do your whole life, now you've got to kind of depend on some other people to help do some things that you took for granted. And I think that's kind of been, you know, the reflection that I've seen in the mirror, is that you got to learn how to do this, and maybe it's going to be a little bit of adaptation. Maybe you're going to have to ask for a little help here and there, and it's been humbling, you know.
Is there any achievement, so to speak, that you really are proud of yourself? I mean, because you can still be proud of yourself and be humble. You can be.
I am more proud of the way my family's handling things. You know, I'm proud of each of them for being independent and autonomous, and you know, Gunner's graduated, Kennedy's gonna graduate. They're both gonna have good experiences at good universities. They're both very well educated, you know, good upbringing of the kids, and we're very proud of them and everything that they've done. So out of accomplishments for me, I guess that would be my biggest pride, is my family and my kids.
I know we started in your office, and that's where you needed the most change at first.
Yeah, I telework 4 days a week, so I work here from home most of the time. And they helped create my office that used to be a dining room back there, and now it's an office that we use. I use it every day. And then behind that was a third car garage, and so there is a door that goes out there to the garage, and a vertical platform lift that I can ride down an elevator on and get out. And then the bathroom is a full walk-in shower and big, and able to house a wheelchair, a motorized scooter is what I have. And part of the specialty adaptive housing grant that I was awarded from the VA helped. There have to be two egress points, multiple egress points. So we've got the vertical platform lift in the garage, that's one, but our house didn't have another handicap accessible egress route in case of a fire. And so they were able to help build that deck I can go down out the back door and down the ramp, and if need be. And now there's a sidewalk that goes around the end of the house to the driveway. So have a second way out now.
I've been very involved with my family. I don't think I could do anything else, really. I mean, I tried in a way to go kind of in my own route, but I've just been around all of this for so long that it's kind of...
I'm sure you've learned a lot, not only, construction, but also just about caregiving and accessibility and how to adapt different environments to make them all suitable to somebody's customary need.
It's rewarding in its own ways, but it's mostly, I wouldn't have been able to open up to you and have you open up to me and be able to go through all of this. And I've met so many great people with what I do, and I'm very proud of what my mom's done. So it's one of those things that it's... would you have a message to anyone that's gone through what you've gone through?
I would say embrace what you have. Realize how important your family is each and every day, and what they can bring for you, not only in terms of what they can do, but in terms of who they are and what they need on their side of the house. Don't be so absorbed and concerned about, hey, I got to do this and I got to do that, and all the things that you need now affect somebody else. The advice that I would have would be just that: be very grateful for all the people that are helping you. Recognize whoever it is and however much they're contributing to what you want to try to accomplish every day. Understand that different people help you in different ways, and finding those resources out there and how they can be viable for you. I know your parents have been an important resource for us in craft lifestyle management. I know the VA has been very lucrative for us. I know that there are many places, regardless of your type of disease that you get diagnosed with, and the limitations that you may have, there's resources available, but you gotta educate yourself on them, and you gotta find them and figure out, how do I fit into that? So
it's not easy. There's a lot of resources.